Hey guys, Jack Keating here from Fins for Outdoors, and today we are doing another installment of our Iflies unboxing. And so we got a new tin from Iflies, so go focus there. And so what it has in it is a bunch of new trout flies that I'm hoping to use this spring. And so basically, Iflies, like I've said in my previous video, they're a company out of the UK, and they match the hatch here in the US precisely, and they give you the perfect flies to get the job done. And so last time, my last video, they gave me basically an overview of all the flies that they had available, from salmon to trout flies. They gave me it all, which was completely awesome, and they were great products. I used them when I went to Wyoming fishing in the mountains for trout, and they worked supremely, stood up to conditions, stood up against the fish, and held together greatly. And so this company makes great products, basically what I'm trying to say. And so let's get right into it. So we're going to open the box here. It comes in this nice little tin. It's beautiful, stays locked pretty well. And so you open it up, and you have your array of flies there. And so they give you quite the array. I believe there is 10 flies in each box, and each box comes with a whole different set. You don't get the same flies each month. You don't want that, obviously. And so we're going to start out with the small flies first. So what we have first is this little nymph. It's a smaller hook. It's got a nice bead on it and a beautiful color on it, red front with a brownish orange back, and this will really get the attention of those trout, especially since it has this glitter on the back side. And so this lure will definitely be getting the attention of the trout, no doubt, and definitely hopefully get some trout in our net. The next one we're going to go with is the brown hare's ear nymph. And so this fly, if many of you fly fish, is a great all-around fly, great for many trout, and it's one of the flies that I'd probably put in the top 10 of flies of all time. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. It's quite the fly, beautifully done, and especially from this company, what you're going to get is continually great products. And that's what I definitely like about this. I mean, the hook's very strong. You're not going to be bending them on any fish at all, because, I mean, some of these boxes you might get some flimsy gear, which is exactly what you don't want. You don't want the cheap stuff. You want that good, high-quality stuff, and that's exactly what these flies are. So here's the dark hare's ear nymph. It's beautiful, got a gold ribbon around the body, and the bead around the center, and it'll definitely be awesome for any trout fishing you're going to do. The next thing we're going to go into, we have a little array of different buzzer type flies. They're called buzzers. And so these are going to be more looking like a worm. And so basically that's kind of what I've been looking for. I haven't really used any of the San Juan worms style flies or any of these smaller buzzer type flies yet. And so this spring and summer, that's what I really want to focus on, is using these worms in different situations and seeing how they work on different fish. I mean, here in Nebraska we fish anything from bluegill. I've caught walleye and all the way up to the trout. So I'm excited to see how the different fish react to this. The next up, we have another buzzer. It's a red buzzer, and so it's going to be a gorgeous looking fly, well tied, like I said, a little flashy on the body, which I really like, and it has this nice red fluff at the top, which is really going to give you that indicator you need to see it while it's in the water. The next fly we're going to go on to, I believe they call it the cinnamon and gold. Sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? So what you're going to have here is beautiful cinnamon colored wings with a gold body, which is wrapped in gold wire and a little flashy gold thread. And then you're also going to have the golden pheasant tippets on the back side of that, which is something I like to use in my royal wolves, which you can see in one of my other videos. So I think they're beautiful feathers to use, and I love them a lot. But this is one of my favorites out of the box so far. The next we got into is another buzzer, actually, and it has a black body, which is pretty neat. It also has 2 white puffs on the end, which would be really good for an indicator, but also a great attention grabber for those fish. I mean, really, what you're wanting to do out there while you're fishing is grab those fish's attention. No matter what it is, you want to grab the attention. Once you get their attention, I mean, either they're going to want it or they're not going to want it. You know, there's not much you can do there. But if you don't grab their attention at all, you're not getting any fish. So, attention grabber, major key. Okay, the next thing we're going to go to is kind of like the cinnamon and gold earlier, which was a beautiful fly, but a little smaller, a little different. Just like that buzzer we just did, it has a black body with some nice wire wrapped around it and a little tail on the end, and it's got the 2 wing type feather formation on the top of it. And so this is just going to be just like that cinnamon and gold fly. It's going to be great for all around fishing, and it'll be really beautiful going through the water. The next thing we have is a woolly bugger type fly with a bead head on it, and this fly is quite beautiful. So what it has, got these 2 bead eyes on the front, which I think is pretty neat, pretty cool. And like I said earlier, we fish all the way from bass to walleye to trout, and these bead eyes I think will be really helpful in the bass section, especially woolly buggers in general. Really great trout or bass fly, and so this fly will be doing fantastic. As you can see, it's got the marabou on the back, which I really like to use in all my woolly buggers. I mean, it's a main staple. It's got a little bit of flashabou in there, which I also like. Like I said earlier, attention grabber, main key. It also has this kind of a gold thread around the center body and a lime green body, which I like as well because it's, again, another attention grabber that's really going to grab the attention of those fish. It also has some beautiful hackle on it that I also like, and overall just a beautiful fly no matter what. We're going to go straight into this streamer, which is a gorgeous streamer. I believe they call it the cat's whisker streamer. And so as you can see here, it's got the white, looks like kind of like a cotton ball almost, but what this is going to do in the water is sink down around it and kind of give it a minnow look, and which I'm a big fan of. These big bass here in Nebraska, big trout in northwestern Nebraska are going to be digging this. They're also going to really like this lime green body, which all fish around us at least really seem to like, no matter what, you know, bass or trout. The lime green seems to be a common theme that they like. And our last one, they call the Montana. Now this fly, just like this other one, was basically looking like a woolly bugger. And it's got a beautiful gold bead head on the front, which is going to weigh it down through the water, bring it down into those deeper pools for those bigger trout. And so you have the yellow marabou, and it has a little bit of flashabou in it, which, like I said earlier, awesome. I love it. Great for any fly. And another thing it has on it is it has a flashy body, which you usually wouldn't see, but when it's going through the water, you will definitely be able to see it, and the fish will definitely be able to see it, which is definitely what you want. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is you can throw these flies individually. You can throw the big ones individually, you can throw the small ones individually. But another thing you could do is actually rig these together. And so what you're going to want to do is get about, I'd say a minimum of 18 inches of fluorocarbon, minimum as in length from the hook tied onto the fly. There's 18 inches between there. So probably cut about a 20 to 22-inch piece of fluorocarbon to make sure you cut the right amount. Because what you're going to do is you're going to tie it onto the rear end of this larger hook, and that's actually going to work as basically, just like this flash hook works, an attention grabber. You're going to grab that fish's attention, and what it's going to do is it's going to see that, and then it's going to keep looking for other things. And you're going to have this little guy tied about 20 inches behind it, and he will be your golden key. Those big fish, yeah, you think big baits, big fish. But these small guys are going to be the major key to your success out there in the field and in the streams. And so basically that's all that comes in here. I love this company. They're throwing out great products, which I really enjoy to use. They've held up against the fish. They've stood my tests, which is pretty intense. And so I'm super happy with their products. Definitely worth it. So go check them out. Iflies from the UK, started by two brothers. That we're going to throw a link down in the bio or in the description. Go check them out and make sure to subscribe to their subscription box because you're not going to want to miss out on what they have to offer. Great products. Love it. Thank you guys for watching here at Fins and Fur. Signing off.